The title of the sermon today is Good Friend. This is the statistics from Korea. The statistics department in Korean government, they made the study about the one person household in Korea. In 2000 it was 222,000 one person households, and 2015 it almost became double, and they expect it to be 809,000 one-person household by 2045. And by percentage is from 15.5 to 27.2% and 36 to 3%. What does it tell you about the society we are living? But this is not only the symptom in Korea, but many other places. Lonely Planet. I don't know whether still Lonely Planet make a travel book, but when I was a university student, and this is one of the most famous travel books. So when I traveled, I bought the Lonely Planet. But the world, the planet we are living is getting lonelier. I don't know how you feel about the world we are living today. So the culture has been established, and eat alone, like a trip alone, and die alone. Lonely planet, getting lonelier. So like Korea, Japan, and many other countries, they used to have we culture. Probably Africans, you have the culture too, right? We culture, the community culture. So in Korean, when you learn Korean, there are a lot of people say we, the time that you supposed to say I. Even we say our wife. Sounds very weird, but that's how we say our wife. And you share with wife? No, that's crazy. But that's our culture. We have we culture. But somehow it has been changed so much. And saying we has been disappearing from our culture. But I don't know about other culture, but that's happening all over the world. And person separate from another person, they more fun to the gadget, like cell phone and internet friend, and not really facing each other, but they spend more time, online instead of having offline. And people have more. Well, I have pet, 2 cats, but people have more affection to animals than people. And I read once the study that they do not trust people anymore. But animals are more faithful and loyalty to the relationship. So that's why people more fall in love with the animals, their pets, than neighbors. They do not even know the name of the neighbors. Every relationship has become contract between husband, wife, parents, children, children, and parents. And I read the news, I think it's in India, the son sued father. Do you know the reason? Why? Because he was born, the parents delivered him out of his will. So that's why the father should take care of him until he died. Crazy word, right? New concept. They say, I didn't want to born. I say I want to born as your son, and why did you deliver me? And now I'm here. You take care of me until I die. Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9 and 10 says, let's read together. 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. And more people don't feel the need of a human friend. But even though they feel the way, but that's not true. We need friends. But not just friend, but real friend. So this morning we are going to look at the scriptures and to know what real friend is. Proverbs 27 verse 17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so man sharpens the countenance of his friend." What does it mean by that? Like iron sharpens iron to be sharper, right? The same one friend influences another friend. It sharpens and molds a person's character, the person who is being. So even there's a saying, "I am not what I do, but I am whom I am with." It talks about friends, people who associate. And because we influence each other, if you're associated with a certain kind of people, and even though I don't want to, but naturally we are influenced by people around us. So what kind of friends do you have? Now, I'll give you a moment to think about what kind of friends do you have? And another question is, what kind of friend are you to them? Your friends, do they strengthen you positively? Or do they discourage you negatively? Do they lead you to the right path, a wrong path, good path, bad way? Lead you to build a good habit or destroy your good habit? Think about the friends. So what kind of friend am I? That's another question you would like to think about it. Do you give good influence to people around you? Do you lead them to the right path? Do you give good energy to them? This interesting verse from Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24. Let's read it together. Some friends, let's read it together. Some friends pretend to be friends, but a true friend sticks closer than a brother. This is a version from the complete Jewish version, Jewish Bible. So I have a question for you again. Who are pretend to be friends? And who are closer than a brother? Okay? We may answer those questions as we listen to what we got this morning. Think about, is there any Bible story really talks about friendship? Can you think about any Bible characters? Bible story, famous Bible story?
David and Jonathan.
That's right, thank you. David and Jonathan. They were good friends, right? But I will tell you a shortened story about how they became good friends. Jonathan was a son of Saul, king, the first king of Israel. So which means he was a prince. But not just prince, but he was a crown prince. So Saul had how many children? Many? 5. They had 5. 3 sons, 2 daughters. But their names only mentioned once, but only Jonathan, the crown prince's name, continually appear in the Bible. How about David? He was a shepherd boy. And it's difficult to match right now, prince and shepherd boy. And he was good at playing harp. So he was a good musician. And still it's difficult to match the prince and shepherd boy playing harp. But one day, David visited the battlefield between Palestine and Israelites. And as they were waiting, and the one giant soldier, Goliath, he insulted army of Israel and God of Israel. And when David heard it, he was furious that, no, who is that guy that insults God's people and God? So to make a long story short, then he killed him, right? He killed him. So you can expect when regular boy and then kill the warrior of the enemy, what would happen after that? He will be standing in front of the king. So that's the story. So David was brought to King Saul, and he was introducing himself. I am, blah blah blah. And as David was introducing himself to King, and Jonathan, as you can expect, the crown prince was sitting or standing beside the king and was listening to him. I like that guy. I like him. So just at the moment he fell in love to David, as a friend. Jonathan was a warrior too, right? He is a warrior. So when he saw David, another warrior, probably I don't know, but that attracted him. But that's the moment he liked him. Jonathan liked David so much. So that's what 1 Samuel 18 verse 3 says. So they two made the best friend covenant. So in Canada, how do you make the best friend covenant between boys? The girls, they do the way here too? In Korea, we do. The girls, they say, oh, we are friends. We are making covenant. You're my best friend. How do you do, guys? Here? No, there's there? Okay, all right. Here? All right. Like this, huh? Yeah, we are best friends. And so they made a best friend covenant. So it says, then Jonathan and David made a covenant, the best friend covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. And later on, because we cannot tell the whole story, but later on, they made a stronger covenant. It says, and you shall not only show me the kindness of the Lord while I still live, that I may not die, but you shall not cut off your kindness from my house forever. No, not when the Lord has cut off every one of your enemies of David from the face of the earth. So Jonathan was saying, you should keep the covenant with me as long as I live. But even after my death, our covenant is not broken. It's stronger than husband-wife covenant. Right? So when I officiate couple and I say, you shall love each other until death depart you. So which means after death you are free from that covenant. But now Jonathan is saying, no, our covenant is stronger than husband-wife covenant. Even after my death, you should keep that friendship and take care of my family. So 16 and 17, the same chapter. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord require it at the hand of David's enemies. Now Jonathan again caused David to vow because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Very strong covenant, right? And then incident happened, and Jonathan got to know that Saul, his father, didn't like David anymore. And not only didn't like him, but he wanted to kill him. Because Jonathan made a covenant, he helped David to escape from the Saul's terror. So King Saul got to know it. His son helped his enemy, now his enemy, to escape from his hand. And that's what happened after that. So if you're a father, you would get angry, right? So he said, then Saul's anger arose against Jonathan, and he said to him, you son of a perverse, rebellious woman, do I not know that you have chosen the son of Jesse to your own shame and to the shame of your mother's nakedness? Not a nice way to say it. For as long as the son of Jesse lives on the earth, you shall not be established for your kingdom. Now therefore send and bring him to me, for he shall surely die. You can feel the father's mind here, even though he was furious and said nasty things. But what was in his mind? I want my son to be the next king after me. He cared about his son. He loved his son. Even though he was saying nasty things to him, but that's in his heart. Then Jonathan said to his father, why should he be killed? What has he done? Oh man, that was the limit of the patience of the father. So he grabbed his spear and threw to his son Jonathan. But he is a warrior, so he escaped. And now here we can see what the word teaches and what we are supposed to do. What is the father saying to Jonathan was reality. You know what? Jonathan, son, listen to me. This is not, child game, friend game, but this is really your future. Our family's future. As long as he lives, you're not going to be a king. You may die in his hand. Son, listen to me. That's life. That's the real world we are living. That's what Father was saying. Have you heard such a thing from anyone? This is real life. This is not joking, man. Tough life. Dog eat dog world. You must wake up. This is not playing games. That's what Father was saying. And Jonathan, on the other hand, what he was saying, I understand, Father. I'm old enough to know what is going to happen to me. But I cherish my covenant more than anything else. He could die, right? To keep his covenant, his friendship. He endangered his life. Even he endangered his relationship with his father. But he knew what he was doing was the right thing to do. So, do you remember the question I raised a few minutes earlier? Who are pretend to be friends? And who are closer than a brother? If Jonathan was a kind of a pretended friend, then what was he supposed to do? Oh, Father, and I was misled by this boy. Now I know my reality. How can I help you to kill him? So that your name will be continued forever, lifted up. Then I'll be the king after you. So let's do it and kill him. That's a pretend to be friends. And who is closer than a brother? That's what he did. No, he was not pretend to be friend. He said, I love David. He's my friend. We made best friend covenant. And also what we are doing is the right thing to do. So I will keep my covenant in any cost. That's what Jonathan did. When I was in high school, I don't really remember when was it, but one of the elderly people told me a story about a friend. Back in there, we could slaughter animals that we were raising. But now it's illegal to slaughter at home. You have to bring it to a certain place. And we do not have right to do it. In Korea, I don't know here, but now we cannot do it. But at that time they could do it. So that's just a little background of the story. And there was a father and son who was about 20 or 19, 20 years old, and he had many friends. So So he spent a lot of time with the friends, but father noticed that he was not really having decent lifestyle. So one day he shared a concern about his friends. But father, he had only 3 good friends. So when father said, "Son, I do not want to really interfere in your life, but you're having friends, but are you sure they're really friends? Good friends? And do they, affect you the right way and lead you to the right path?" And son said, as you can expect, 1920, they said, "Yes, father, no." He said, "Father, I think you have a social problem." Right? You can expect that from son today, right? You have a social problem. I have many friends, you have only 3 friends. I think instead of giving advice, I think you need to extend your social relationship. So they agreed to test their friendship. So they slaughter calf, which they were raising at home, and put in a set. And they were saying is that if I bring it to friends and tell them by accident I kill it, and it was not, it's kind of disguised. It's a calf is inside, but it's like a dead body, human dead body, corpse, and try to pretend it, and it's not. I didn't commit any crime. And would you help me to bury it? We wouldn't be criminal charge even though you help me. So that's the story. And so the son started first. So he visits every week his friend, tell them to help him to bury the corpse. And as you can still imagine, nobody really say, "Oh yeah, I can help you." But everyone said, "I'm sorry, I'm busy and I have an appointment, and maybe this is the wrong time." So every single of his friend said refused to help him. And it's the father's case. And father went to 3 of his friends, and everyone said, "Okay, I trust you." So they said, "I'm going to help you." So at the end of the story, father gathered with his 3 friends and cooked the calf, and they had a feast. And I don't know whether it's a true story or not, but it tells about the story, tells about the lesson about good friends. So try to put the story in the story, put you in the story. And think about your friends around you. If you are in a difficult situation, you are innocent, but you are in a difficult situation, and you ask for help. How many of your friends will say, "I'm ready to help you, man. This is your difficult time. I will help you." How many people around you will volunteer to help you? So I'm going to ask you once again, what kind of friends do you have around you? Do you have real friends, or do you have friends? And once again, what kind of friend am I? What kind of friend are you to people around you? I have one story from the news. It's a short video clip about good friend.
Emotional neighbors on the block where 11-year-old Anthony Perez grew up, just minutes away from the icy pond that claimed his life Tuesday afternoon as he tried to rescue a friend.
It doesn't surprise me at all because he got no heart. And then it was not because I know he's bad, I can do nothing about it. But
Police sources say Perez and a 12-year-old friend were near the pond at Forest Park when the older friend walked onto the ice before falling through. Perez
How old was he? 12. Even 12 years old boy knew how to sacrifice for his friend. He saved his friend and he died. Now, Jesus also talked about the friendship that was stronger than a person's own life. Let's read those verses together. Ready? Read. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. You are my friends if you do whatever I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for a servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard from my Father I have made known to you. So Jesus gave his life for his friends and his disciples and to all of us. But if you read the Gospels, we know that they don't deserve his friendship. We know that they abandoned him, broke the covenant. However, Jesus kept his covenant and to love them, and love them to die on the cross. But later on, and we know the story, they realized how great the friendship, Jesus' friendship was. And they also died for their friendship. And we know the story. And as a matter of fact, there's one man who realized that Jesus' friendship before the 11 disciples realized. Do you know this guy's name? Joseph, right? Arimathea Joseph. He was a secret, hidden disciple for the fear of the Jew. So he didn't really say, I'm a disciple of Jesus, I'm a friend of Jesus Christ. He didn't say that. He was hiding about his friendship. But when the chance is given, he thought to himself, this is a time that I have to show my friendship. I cannot be a hidden friend anymore. So I'm going to let them know that I'm a friend of Jesus Christ. So even in danger of his own life, he helped Jesus. How? Funeral is very important in many cultures. How about your culture? Is it important, right? So Jesus was hanging on the cross and no one to take care of him. Because his loved ones abandoned him. But hidden disciple Joseph, and he decided to be known disciple. So he went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus Christ and buried. It's a suicide. You know what? It's a suicide. What Joseph did was suicidal. He was killing himself. And it was telling Pilate, and you kill myself too. But he didn't care. Because of what and many after we realized how much Jesus loved him. When he knew his friendship, he decided to take care of Jesus' dead body. And another person helped him too. Who is that one? That's Nicodemus. He was a famous politician. If in today's life setting, he could be next president, who knows? But he helped Jesus' funeral, which means he gave up his political life. That's the thing he is established for his life until he reached a certain age, maybe 50, 60 years old. That's what he lived for his life. But once he realized how much Jesus loved him, once he realized Jesus' friendship, he decided to give up all the things he established, entire his life, and helped Joseph to bury him. What kind of friend are you to Jesus? My beloved church members, what kind of friend are you to Jesus? Even before we knew him, he died for us on the cross to pay for our sins. So what kind of friend are we to Jesus Christ? The education of this world do not teach the importance of keeping such a friendship anymore. That's insane. They teach how to gain benefits and profits instead of keeping the covenant. They don't teach to, teach the value of living together. But they teach you how to be successful no matter how you make other people suffer. Today's life, unfortunately, they don't value, they don't cherish friendship, dying for friends. But however, the Bible teaches about the true friend and true friendship. Dear brothers and sisters, let's be a good friend for each other. Not just friend, but good friend who can die for each other. Dear my beloved church members, let's be a good friend to Jesus. He already died for us. Do you want to be a good friend of Jesus? Do you want to be a good friend of Jesus? If your answer is yes, please all stand up and sing a closing song.